Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining this bright evening. And my name is Prasad Chintalapudi. Uh, I'm an entrepreneur living in this country for the last 2 decades. Previously, going to India is like, and just buy a ticket, you're on the plane, get off the plane, and you go and visit your hometown. But during this COVID, there's so many changes have happened, and there are so many stranded people stuck in either of the country, whether it is in India or US or somewhere else, and there is no clear picture for them how they can fly back to their home countries or how they can meet their in an emergency situation how they want to fly. Today, I invite Ravi Puli. Ravi Garu, thank you very much for joining us this evening. And Ravi is from USISM. It is called as an US India Solidarity Mission. Ravi, can you just tell us what is this USISM?
Well, thank you, Prasad, and thank you, Vijay, for taking your time and talking to me about this initiative. So it's just a solidarity mission. We're extending solidarity in this crisis for all the people, those who are stuck here, for various reasons. Of course, the whole world is shut down, right? The moment, the flying started, and it was so difficult for people to get onto the flights. And my mother, who is about close to 80 years old, was here with me until December. And she went back and she was very nervous that, people are dying in America and people stranded here can't go back home, and she was really sick. And I then started, thinking about it and trying to help some people getting onto Air India with the help of, embassy here and all the consulates, that, I tried to work with. But it was a very little help, They were not able to put so many people into one flight, right? As you know, the Vande Bharat mission, started with a phase 1, 2, and now 3.
Mm-hmm.
So my idea, was started, after the phase 1. During the phase 1, it started, and phase 2, I submitted my proposal to the embassy here, and then they forwarded to the government. And so my idea was actually to arrange help for all the people in various regions, especially from our region here. I'm in Washington, D.C. for the last 25 years now. And I see we are used to go to direct flights and go direct home. I normally take, Air India flight every time I go to India because it goes direct to Delhi.
Mm-hmm.
And I was specifically looking something direct flight to Hyderabad because a lot of old people, and it's so difficult for them during this COVID. So then I proposed this direct flight to, Hyderabad to start with, along with other destinations. So I was advised to do the first flight to Hyderabad, and that's how I started. And now there's a lot of response to it. But very good thing is that Air India, when saw the proposal coming from private charter, they also stepped up, and then they started the phase 3, which has relieved a lot of people from suffering, go to India.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, that has certainly, cut down the need, for further private travel, to India.
Yeah, that's a good thing to know. And when you say like an old people, like, and who are all your passengers now? Like, and what is their criteria to get selected?
Wonderful, very good question. So the criteria is same as the Indian government guidelines. Most of the people, are thinking that private charter has a private rules. Unfortunately, no. We follow more strict guidelines to be in compliance with the government, to make sure that everybody, who is eligible can only get onto the flight and is allowed. And all the list that, we have is also supposed to be in the list of Indian Embassy as a registered passenger. So they are going to further qualify. And if anyone has not told us the truth, right, and we are not a government agency, right, so only good faith, with the information you give, we get you onto the flight, but then you will be denied boarding. Even if you manage to board our flight, then you will be denied entering into the country. As you may have seen in the news a couple of days ago, people, were stopped in Mumbai and were really, treated, with, a lot of trouble. So it is just as good as, the government flight. There is no difference at all. So people have to certainly follow all the required rules.
So when you say required rules on the highlight, brief them for us.
Yeah.
What kind of rules are you looking for?
Yes. So first, US citizens with the OCI card, holders, only certain categories are allowed, such as somebody with a family emergency, right? Another one is like, Indian parents, Indian citizens, somebody who worked here, went to India, but never became US citizens. But their kids were born in US. They're studying here. They want to go and, join their parents. They are allowed. But if both the parents and the children are US citizens and they are trying to, join their parents back home or vice versa, not allowed. And also OCI card holders without a reason, not allowed. So everything is in the website, very clearly written. People have to, certainly follow. And all Indian citizens should have a valid passport. If it's an expired passport, they are not allowed. And Indian passport holders having, children, young children with US passport and a visa are not allowed, unfortunately.
Okay.
They must have, although he's out of status here, his H-1B expired, okay, he's still not allowed. So the government is working on it, and we are hoping to hear back from them that giving a rule that these people can be allowed to travel back to their home.
Okay, that's good. So just to repeat what you said, there are like an OCI card holders. If there is no emergency need, they are not allowed. Yes. And if they are on a work visa, on like an H1, L1, whatever the visas are, even if they are expired, they are not allowed.
Yes.
And now other two categories.
Prasad, they are allowed, but their kids, if they are born here,
yes,
and they should have obtained OCI card. Okay. See, a lot of them, did not pay attention to applying for OCI card, right? Including, my son and my wife. So they were on visas. Now they are not allowed. Okay. So one should have OCI card to go along with the Indian parents with holding Indian passports.
Okay. And what about the parents who visited their children in US for whatever reason? They come here as a tourist. So what about them?
Well, they if they are staying here beyond their permitted time, they should have applied for a visa extension because of the COVID that they couldn't travel. As long as they have a proof that they applied for extension, they are allowed to travel back home.
Okay. And the parents who just have like a 6-month visa, but they are only 3 months done, but they just want to go back. Can they go back?
Yes, you can go back immediately. There's no restriction on that. Yes.
Okay. And now let's talk about another category which we are very familiar with, students. So what about the student category? So who is allowed and who are not allowed?
There's no restriction at all for students.
Okay, that's good to
know. Except the US citizens. Let us say, you are a US citizen, right? And your wife is a US citizen and you moved back to India for good. Right? But your son is still studying here and he's trying to come and join you. He's not allowed to travel, unfortunately.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But the student I meant by the OPT students are like an F1 students, yes. On the visa holders. That's what I meant.
All Indian American students, Indian students basically, they are allowed to travel back to their home.
Good. And you said that this is a charter flight. So charter, the word itself is a fancy word. So just explain what is this charter flight means.
A charter flight is like something that is specially arranged, for a purpose, right? That's called a charter, right? So of course, it is a special flight, right? For a special purpose, it's arranged, and you have all special privileges. You can customize, your menu. You can customize your music. You can customize, whatever is required for your people. right? But it is same as good as an international flight of any other airlines. It has to, fall under all the categories of, the government approved, flights. It's a Airbus 330, with about 250 seats, with a business and, first class and economy.
Okay. So it is just like a regular flight with a 250 seater capacity with all the three class categories, first class, business class, and an economy.
Absolutely.
Okay, that is good. And when somebody wants to fly on now, like, is it they have to connect to you first, or they have to connect to the embassy first?
That's a very good question. They have to first register with Indian Embassy. And I think it looks like they don't let you register if you're not qualified. Some of them are not allowed to register. Their system automatically, denies you.
Mm-hmm.
But they should register there first and then register with our site. And then we will again submit the same list back to them to make sure that it matches with their database. Then once then we do that, and then our team, one of our team members, is going to call the passenger and tell them again all the rules and regulations. And then they'll ask them to go ahead and confirm their flight by making the payment, and then they will be notified about all the flight updates until they land in India.
Okay, that's good. Like, so in this registration process, whether it is an embassy or with you, do they need to declare their health status? If it is yes, how do they do that?
Yeah, there is a column there. They are asking if you have taken COVID test. If so, you have to declare your result there, and then you have to sign a declaration form before you go to India, saying that yes, you are willing to undergo all the government required process to undergo for quarantine, and if they are COVID positive, they have to follow all the government instructions. Yes.
Okay, but it is not like, and they have to get a either a primary physician or some doctor has to prescribe that they can fly.
Not really.
Not yet. Okay, that's good. Now, means like in all these, let's come to like, what are the travel mandates that these passengers has to follow before getting onto the flight? Any mandates? I mean to say that the mandates means like they should be healthy, and they should be whatever the requirements you say, they have to follow each and every requirement that has to be qualified by Indian government or by the US government.
Yeah, I mean, by Indian government, the form is on their website that they can download and read and sign.
Mm-hmm.
It's like traveling by any other international flight. If they are not comfortable, obviously they shouldn't fly on the flight. But there is no other special requirement as such.
Means like an age is not a restriction.
Not really.
No. Okay, means like a person who is like an 80-year-old on a wheelchair can also travel.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. And now tell us more about like in this charter flight, in flight, what is that like about the seating or about the food or about the sanitations and all these?
There are standard operating procedures set by Indian government for all this. So it is not like a normal flying time. So there are some restrictions to avoid interaction with or contact with the crew, airline crew. So they will follow all the restrictions that are set by the government, and passengers have to also follow them and cooperate with them.
Okay, so when these passengers boarding, do they need to bring their own this COVID basic kit like masks, face shields, sanitizers, and all those, or is this airlines is going to provide them anything like that for them?
The airline, I think, is going to give them a brief 48 hours before and advise them what is that it is going to be. It is according to their airlines that they are operating under their whatever guidelines of US government here and the airport. So they will follow all the standard guidelines there.
Okay, good. And when supposing that I have my parents who are very old and I want to drop them at the airport, is it like, and I'm just dropping them at the airport, or I can drop them till the gate to make sure that, because this is a new process, the confidence, like, and how do we know that they boarded the plane, those kind of a thing. So what kind of, for the visitors, what's your recommendations?
Well, I think, see, now there is social distancing is in process, right? So we all have to maintain that. And airports are operating, and domestic flights are on. So whatever it applies to, the domestic passengers here, it will be the same for, international.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they'll allow you to go up to the gate, right? Even during normal times, we were not allowed to go to the gate. But if there is a need, please, send us an email, and we will try to facilitate and request a pass for someone who is in need. Can definitely, go up to the gate and send their, parents off.
Okay, that's good. Like, and now, like, once they land, now it is to Hyderabad. So think that, like, suppose somebody are in Hyderabad, somebody wants to go to Tamil Nadu, or somebody wants to go to Bangalore or to Andhra, like, and so can you tell us something more about this quarantine once they land in India?
So although this flight is saying it's a direct flight to Hyderabad, anybody can travel. Those who are willing to be quarantined in Hyderabad for 7 days and then go to their destination.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if they go to Delhi, they will still be in quarantine before they go to their home. So it is almost the same, unless they are local to Delhi. There is no big difference there. Number one. Number two, for Andhra, yes, there are buses, I think, provided there, and the government there, is actively taking care of people, and they will be sent to, Andhra. And people from Tamil Nadu, this morning I was on call with the government there, and they were very kind in arranging, all the facilities for these people to be quarantined in Chennai. So if we have enough people from Chennai, we have arranged a bus, which is a Volvo, AC bus, that these people can directly get into the bus and go to Chennai and be quarantined there, instead of, being quarantined in Hyderabad. So all the rules are same as other international flights, such as Air India, when you land in Hyderabad.
Okay, that's good. Like, so we have to just follow the rules, what Indian government is asking us to follow.
Absolutely.
Right? And when they land, and you said that you are arranging some buses, a transportation for them to go to some places.
Yes.
In some places, like, and can you tell us to where you are, to what destinations are you trying to accommodate people and send them?
But right now, nearby Hyderabad, Chennai, Vijayawada, and then Bangalore, these are the 4 places, depending on the need. But for Chennai, I know they have very few flights or no flights and requests. So we are accommodating people from Chennai. Bangalore, we haven't heard many. They may probably just be in Hyderabad and then go to Bangalore. But Vijayawada, is, of course, part of Andhra and Telangana. So people have been, traveling there to Vijayawada from Hyderabad, because that is the nearest international airport they have. Although they have international airport there, somehow, there no flights are operating international there.
So right now you started this flight to Hyderabad.
Yes.
And I heard that you are going to have a flight on 14th of June, your next flight. So what is your frequency? Like, in how many weeks and next flight will be after June 14th?
We have a registration system where we track how many people are interested in what they are trying to do. For now, we are only trying to work for this particular scheduled flight, because Air India is actually taking care of people stranded here in US. So I don't know about the second flight and from where we will operate that. We do not have any plans on the second flight yet.
Okay. And now for our listeners, do you still have empty spaces for June 14th flight?
We do. We also have business and first class. Those who are looking to travel with more comfort, we also have business and first class, and I encourage people to utilize that opportunity. And also economy seats, still available. We made it first come first serve basis, and people have to go, make the payment and confirm everything, confirm all the documents. So it's a very long, tedious process that we have taken up, and overnight, right? It's that's the mission. So the mission certainly has a lot of work to do. So until last minute, we do not know, right? So, some people, they may be an impression that hey, I have to go because I'm from India, I'm an Indian passport holder, but they realize their passport is expired. Okay, because people are in distress, right? And they don't realize, because I know people were going to airport and waiting there when they first opened the flights, and they used to call me from airport and say, can you please put a word to officers here and please let me get into the flight. So that is why we want to make sure that we can only take people those who are eligible to travel, and so we still have seats, and people can go to our website usism.org and register their information, and then they get a call, they further validate, and then then they'll be booked for the flight.
Okay, that when you're talking about like in first class, business class, do you also have a premium economy or only economy?
There is only economy.
Right? Only economy. And what would be the price range?
So economy is priced at $2,350. It's one way, and the business is $5,500, and first class is $7,000. So that is.
So I want to fly for $7,000 first class.
Yes, I know. It's
when would we get this kind of an offer? See, it looks like an offer for me, right?
Absolutely no. Overall, because I know my friends, travel to India paying $20,000 each.
I know.
Yeah, because they obviously had no way of going home, right? So even I myself was, trying to, go home, and there was no opportunity to go home. So definitely, and we may have some. If not all business class seats are full, they may probably throw some upgrades in the last minute to make sure everybody travels comfortably. Yeah.
Good. And what is your mode of payment?
They have to do a bank transfer because this is not a regular flight or not anything that they can do. So our team will work with them and coordinate on that payment and accept them into the flight.
Okay, so once when you communicate with the passengers, then in that process you will tell whether it has to be paid in whatever mode it is. Yes. Okay, and when these people are paying through, is it a fixed price? When you said $2,350 for an economy, is it fixed price or is it like a? Recently, I was reading an article and I heard from so many other people. The people coming from India to US, they have to sign a promissory note. If there is any price difference, they have to pay it later. Is there anything such thing?
Yeah, not really here. Here we have taken the responsibility in coordinating this, hoping that this will be a smooth process. I don't see it is a smooth process, but we are trying to make this happen, and see that these people get home. But what you said is yes, U.S. government, when they picked up passengers, they made everybody sign to come back home here in U.S.
Yeah, and now your flight is from Newark and from the East Coast. Do you have any plans of having from the West Coast, from the South?
We did have, but now right now, like I said, there is no set schedule or plan yet. Planned, then probably we will think about having it.
Okay, so like it is a very good information. As you stated, like in usism.org, listeners, if you have any questions or anything, please go to usism.org and call their number, talk to them. And if Ravi, you can see him right here, and some people will be helping you for the stranded passengers who wants to go back home. And if anything else that Ravi, you want to tell that I didn't ask?
That's all. There are FAQs. A lot of people have questions about the flight, security of the flight, size of the flight, right, and the process for traveling to India, right. Everything is like very standard. Like you travel to international using all these different airlines. So it is same flight, like a large flight, right? Like you have international flight, and then, like I said, rules are all same. Please read, once or twice, and make sure you understand them before you really, commit to travel. And so that way, they'll have a smooth, travel home, and they're not stuck anywhere in the process. Let's say somebody registered and have not given appropriate information, then come to the airport and then they're denied boarding. It will be very difficult, for us to really, do anything. That's not our job at all. Our job is to only facilitate the travel. As people are stranded here, they don't have direct flight there, so this is a great opportunity for them to use. So encourage them to use it and, get benefited, from this opportunity.
Good. Just now, one more question came up. Like, is it directly from Newark to Hyderabad, or it is Newark to Mumbai, or Newark to Delhi, and from there they have to take another flight to Hyderabad?
This is a direct flight. It will not stop in Mumbai or Delhi. It will have a technical stop on the way. So this is called a fuel stop. They'll refuel the flight, but passengers are not allowed to disembark. They will just sit in the flight, and then the flight will again take off after they refuel, and then take off and go to the final destination. So it's called a direct flight, but it's called a technical stop for a refuel. That's all.
So how long is this one now? The total travel duration?
Hours. 15 and a half hours.
15 and a half hours. Stop with this along with the stopover.
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you very much, Ravi, for your time. And we really appreciate for your hard work. And it shows your gesture of helping our people. And it is like, we are all here to help others kind of a thing. We are part of the community. You're showing your kindness and goodness of doing all this. And as you stated, and it is a tedious process. To do this tedious process, we do understand how much of you went through because there are two governments here, US government and Indian government, getting all them onto one, under the same pace, and make them understand what our real problems are. And wish you good luck. God bless you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Prasad. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.